Why have you returned?" "My solicitor transferred the ducal title and all entailments after my brother's death, but Douglas had some sort of damnable clause added to the paperwork in regard to his townhouse. I've allowed the property to be leased since I abandoned London, but the tenant has created a problem, and I can no longer wait for solicitors and their legalities to unravel the mess. I want to sell it and detach from this city forever." "No doubt you'll be able to resolve it with your solicitor's assistance now that you're here." Matthew walked to the cabinet, intent on a drink. "Perhaps your brother had a specific reason for the clause. I think of him often. Douglas was a good man." "Yes, he was." Lunden touched his fingers to the suede pouch secured in his pocket. Matthew didn't wish to resurrect dead memories, and silence descended like a heavy rock thrown into a deep puddle. "So, how can I help? Do you need a place to stay?" He carried his brandy in one hand, his cane in the other, and took a seat behind the desk. "You're welcome to live here as long as needed. I would enjoy the company." Lunden viewed his friend as convivial as always, and a sliver of long-lost reminiscence pricked his conscience. He might loathe the city, but he missed companionship of friends, no matter his chosen isolation. For years he'd declined every invitation sent to his country estate until the few friends he'd possessed stopped requesting his attendance. And no fault could be found. He made it clear he wanted no part of fine society and did not still. Once the business at the bank concluded, he planned to return to Beckford Hall and exercise permanent rustication. "I do need a place to stay, thank you. It will be hellish trying to keep a low profile, but that's my hope." The Whittingham townhouse was situated on Cleveland Row, adjacent to Pall Mall, and not nearly as discreet as he'd prefer, but his choices were limited to one in number. "Do me a favour, though, and keep my presence here under wraps." "Done. I will place the staff on notice. The servants have no need to know your name or purpose." Matthew leaned back in his chair, and for a fleeting moment Lunden thought he detected the beginning of a grin. "Perhaps you would grant me a favour in return." His friend was an astute thinker, even as a lad. There was no way Lunden could deny him. Matthew had taken a bullet to the leg defending his honour. "Of course. Name it." Matthew briefly flashed a smile. "Excellent. Allow me to explain. My parents have retired to Lakeview. Father struggles with his breathing at times, and the city air proves damp and dense. They've seen decades of seasons and no longer desire the social obligations, most especially with Father's health in question. To that end, they've asked me to find Amelia a husband." "Amelia?" Lunden hadn't thought of Matthew's sister in a number of years. He remembered her as a willful chit, more vinegar than sugar, with remarkable green eyes, the kind of eyes that distracted a man so thoroughly the unsuspected soul never realized she'd need him in the groin until scorching pain shot through his lower body. He cleared his throat and said, "How very fine," although his inner voice screamed, "Good luck with that." "To no surprise, my sister proves unwilling to cooperate. We are like oil and water, always have been, and I suspect she resists my matchmaking attempts for no other reason than to vex me. Meanwhile, Mother desires results, and she worries Father will find scant peace until he sees Amelia settled." A shadow of unease enveloped the room, and Lunden ran a hand along his jaw in an attempt to relieve the sudden tension. "What are you asking me to do?" A second panicked question rose to mind, but he did not lend it voice. Was Matthew asking him to wed his sister? It couldn't be true. All Lunden thought the worst of him. No man would want a scourge for a brother-in-law. An insufferable silence ensued, until at last Matthew replied, "Help me. I'm at wit's end. Find her a husband, or facilitate the process. I need her married and out of my hair. The sooner the better. Life is complicated enough without Amelia's difficulties." "And how am I to accomplish this and likewise remain undetected? I've been gone for a decade, and everyone in this city thinks poorly."